I just say to myself, I just look at the people out here in the world today. And a lot of times we cry, we complain. We complain about things that's not really important. We always worry about who got the most, or who got this and who got that, instead of just staying in your own lane worrying about what you got. So that's what I try to do. I try to focus on Floyd Mayweather. I don't try to get in nobody else's lane. I'm not jealous of nobody else. And that's what I do. I live my life the way I want to live it. And no matter what, you can't please everybody because it's so crazy. Like in the beginning, I feel like people was rooting for me, wanted the best for me. And the more and more as I accomplished more and kept accomplishing things, then you start seeing like different things. Then you start saying, oh, he's not that smart, or you hear so many different things. And I just feel like, okay, you're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe, but I have to have some type of common sense, some type of smart, some type of intelligence to be where I'm at. I've been living the same life for 25 years. Having a dream, believing in myself, believing in my skills, believing in my talent, and also surrounding myself with the right team. I had to surround myself with the right people. And everything took flight, but just my mother being on crack.
Yeah.
My dad being shot when I was a kid. Actually, my dad was holding me when he got shot. I was a kid, my dad picked me up when my dad got shot. Actually, my brother shot my dad, my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was in Vegas, actually, I think it was somewhere around 2006, my same uncle that shot my daddy, he died in my house. So, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, but I beat all the odds.
The best thing is have such a strong belief in yourself that you can quiet out all the outside noise, because you're gonna need that on every step of the way. There are people that are projecting their fears and their shortcomings and failures on you. And you have to be very careful, with that. People telling you can't do that. Why can't I? Because they may have tried, or they don't believe that they can do it. And it's not really about you, it's about what they feel and their fear inside. So you have to be strong enough and resilient to believe in whatever it is you're trying to do, and good luck with it.
Early on, you got to balance on a small scale. So what I was able to do was balance money on a small scale first. I made some mistakes in the beginning, but that comes with the territory. Then one of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month, because when I get with my friends that's Jewish, and I get with my friends, my white friends and my Jewish friends, I'm not trying to say, let me get on your plane, or I like your house. I say, you know what? Show me how to get generational wealth. And just being around them, I soaked up the game and I learned it. And just being with Al Heyman played a major part, with helping me get to where I got to. Al Heyman one day just told me, you want to be the highest paid athlete? We'll do that. You want to go on Forbes as the top guy? We'll do that. But then, along with Al and my Jewish friends and my white friends, what we did was we built generational wealth. So my first investment, I came in, my first investment was $5 million, but that was years ago. I'm talking about years ago. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making crazy money. Every day, I would come home and watch every legendary champion. Every champion. Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, Michael Dokes, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, this list goes on and on. And I always wanted to, you know, it wasn't one fighter I wanted to be like. Some days I wanted to fight like Leonard. Another day I want to fight like Hagler. But then I want to have a style like Tommy Hearns. But then I want to be a killer like Mike Tyson. And then when I took all those different champions, Chavez and Roberto Duran and all these different champions and all these different guys, I said I'm gonna take a little bit from every one of them and put it all in one box and shake it up and see what we come up with.
It's always good to compare yourself to people you look up to, right? Because you give yourself a high goal. You set high standards for yourself. And, you know, pretty much the way he lived his life and the parallels and how he affected culture is what I strive to do. You know, how he had a record label and he owned Reprise Records and he released Jimi Hendrix. Kanye West is my Jimi Hendrix. You know, my record label is Rockefeller. You know, just compare yourself to the greats. Set the bar really high.
You know, this dream that I had started years and years and years ago. You know, no matter what my dad did, you know, because he done whatever he had to do to give me a finer life, to give me a better life, to give me the best life that he could give me. And everything happens for a reason. Even when my dad was incarcerated and he went away, I still would hear his words in the back of my mind. Continue to work hard. Nothing is gonna come easy. I worked hard, I worked extremely hard to get to this point. And every day I know I'm blessed. I'm truly, truly blessed. And I don't take anything for granted. Because now it's DVD, but back then it was VHS tapes. Only thing I knew when I come home, they say, you have to do homework. You know what I said? Homework, put that boxing tape on. Because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be champion. And is the dream over? Absolutely not. We're gonna be the biggest company, whether you like it or not. Because if you think small, small things happen. I always dream big. I always believe. I believe in my team. I believe in these fighters. When Badu Jack got hit with a good shot and he took a loss, it was nothing. It's a minor setback for a major comeback. And he's world champion now.
There's a knowing in being an artist. There's a knowing. You can't guess. You can't think. There's a knowing. You have to know that even if it doesn't work today, tomorrow, there's artists that I play that weren't popular at the time that I play more than I play current artists. Shuggie Otis, I suggest you just go look up Shuggie Otis. It was amazing. And at the time, it wasn't this hugely popular thing, but I think when it all said and done, we would play that music more than any other music, right? So you have to have this knowing that, okay, it may not work today, it may not work tomorrow, but this is the right thing and this is what I'm doing and this is what's feeding me. So that would be the best advice that I can give you, that knowing, just believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe in it, then you're not doing it. You haven't figured out the thing that you do best yet. When you feel it and when you know, no one can tell you. You only have to be right once. In my beginning, you know, I just lived such a rich life, you know, a full life. You know, that, you know, my first album came out, I was 26. And I had seen so many things in the street. So my attitude was like, man, I've seen so much, and you know, I don't have anything to prove. I know who I am. I'm a very self-aware person. You know, so when you're self-aware, even when you're dealing with someone's ego, you know when to allow it to, you allow their ego to live in its own space. You know, the problem is if when you engage that energy, that's when there's a problem. If you engage the ego with your ego, then it's like, okay, now something has to happen. It could keep escalating to a level that can be irreversible. You know, but if you don't engage the ego, if you know how to manipulate or play around with the ego, and you give light back to darkness,